Good afternoon. The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common
Wait,
in
what?
New York City and Palm Beach.
Wait, what?
To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice,
Where is
Maxwell.
this coming from? What?
My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998. This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melania. The first time I crossed paths with Epstein was in the year 2000 at an event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings. Numerous fake images and statements about Epstein and me have been circulating on social media for years now. Be cautious about what you believe. These images and stories are completely false. I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant, was never on Epstein's plane, and never visited his private island. I have never been legally accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein's sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior. The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop. My attorneys and I have fought these unfounded and baseless lies with success and will continue to maintain my sound reputation without hesitation. To date, several individuals and companies have been legally obligated to publicly apologize and retract their lies about me, such as Daily Beast, James Carville, and HarperCollins, UK. Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
What the hell is going on here? What the hell? Wait a minute, hold on. You expect people to believe that you moved in the same billionaire social circles, attended the same parties, appeared in the same photos as Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and somehow you had no idea about any of his business, anything that he did, any of the men that was connected to him, your husband included, was a part of the gang of guys. Come on now, stop pulling our leg. I don't understand why y'all came out here and said that. Now you put us back on the Epstein track. This Epstein was not some random dude standing in the corner. This was Jeffrey Epstein, a man with money, connections, and a reputation that followed him everywhere. Stop playing with us. Y'all playing with us. So now the story is what? That everybody else, hold on. That everybody else in those rooms knew who he was, but somehow you didn't know who he was? That's not believable. That's unbelievable. That's convenient, very convenient. And every time somebody says, I didn't know him, I didn't know what he was doing, what all I hear is, I don't want to be tied to whatever everybody else knows about this person. Bullshit. You expect people to believe this shit. You attended the same parties, stood in the same room, and you smiled for the same damn camera girl. And somehow you had no idea who Jeffrey Epstein was. There wasn't some anonymous guest tucked into some corner somewhere, okay? This dude was very casual and very comfortable walking around that party and getting to know people, and he got to know you. This was a man who built his entire reputation on proximity to power. Politicians, celebrities, billionaires, his name carried a lot of weight in those rooms, okay? So now we're supposed to believe you were there, you were present, you were part of that inner circle because you didn't come from no rich family. You probably came from a regular, everyday family. So you wanted to have proximity to money. Quit playing with us. You wanted to have proximity to money. And you were a part of that circle, but you just missed this man. You never saw this man. You didn't know what this man was doing. You don't know nothing about him. Nah, sis. That's not how those spaces work. That's not how them rich people work. That's not how they get to know each other. And let's take this. We're going to go a little further. You weren't just orbiting those rooms by yourself. Stop the bullshit. You were not rolling around in them spaces by yourself. Your dude, the dude you was messing with was best friends with him. At the time, he was best friends with Epstein. When you guys hung out together, partied together, stepped into those rooms together, socialized together, your man was best friends with Donald Trump. Just quit playing with us like this. You were with Donald Trump, a man who, by his own past comments and public reporting, had a long-standing social relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. So now the story becomes even harder to swallow. This is some bullshit. Because it's not just about whether you personally shook his hand or had a conversation with this man. you had proximity, you had exposure. It's about being in an environment where his name came up again and again and again and again. You better stop playing with us, girl. You and Donald Trump playing. You're telling people that in all those years, all them years, and all them rooms, and all them parties, and all them jet planes, and all of that, with all those overlapping relationships with them rich folks, because you wanted proximity to rich folks, because you got into that life because you wanted to be a part of the rich lifestyle. You can't tell me you didn't get to know Jeffrey Epstein. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with us. You telling people that in all them years, all that goofy shit that was going on, you never once registered who this man was and what he was. You didn't have no idea. You didn't walk up on no conversation. You didn't walk up on nothing appropriate. You didn't see inappropriate. You didn't see nothing. Stop it. I ain't going. Any goofy out there can go, but I'm not going. That's not believable. That's not a gap in memory. That sounds like distance after the fact. Distance that you trying to put after the fact. And that's what I'm reacting to. It's too late to say you didn't know X, Y, and Z. It's too late to say you didn't know X, Y, and Z. Okay? Because every time somebody powerful says, I didn't know him, I didn't know her, I don't know what's going on, all the hell I hear is, I know what this looks like now, and I don't want to be connected to it. We know what time it is. So y'all can miss us with that. You and your husband can miss us with these denials. Because there's pictures of y'all together. There's pictures of y'all partying. Stop playing with us. I'm so sick of people letting these rich folks get away with this bullshit. Get away with these lies. Everybody and their mama done seen the pictures. Everybody and their mama done seen the videotapes. Everybody and their mama know your boy and Jeffrey Epstein were friends. And you was putting it to him, so we know you knew who he was too. And we know that you knew his girlfriend and knew what was going on with her too. Stop it. Y'all put how y'all feel about this in the comment section. This is some simple shit, and I hate simple people like this. You're going to tell us something and then make us try to believe some lies. What, we ain't going to believe our lying eyes now? We didn't see the videotape? We didn't see none of the pictures? That's what I don't get. How people can sit there and say they don't believe it, and they done seen it with their own eyes. Y'all stop playing.